Hey guys, welcome back to Modern Golf, where we normally talk about golf stuff. But today we're talking about deodorants and antiperspirants, and there's a reason. This has been a pilgrimage that I've been on in the last, God knows how long, way too long, about who makes a good antiperspirant and deodorant that doesn't make you, one, smell like flowers or powder or awful. So I'll give you a little background. So if you don't know and you're brand new to the channel, we normally talk about golf things. And every once in a while, I bore you all with my favorite fragrances. I'm a big cologne head and have been, God, for 30 years plus. So one of the things when I wear fragrances, I don't want my antiperspirant or deodorant to kind of, I want to say, mask the smell or cover up the deodorant or muddy the waters, let's say, for deodorant. So I was a big fan of Mitchum deodorant, and none of these Mitchums. That was a solid that they discontinued. It worked phenomenally well. You literally could put it on once and it would last 2 or 3 days. It was an antiperspirant and deodorant, but an unscented, so it had zero fragrance, which I loved. And they discontinued it. And so literally in the last, 12 to 18 months, I have tried everything. And I mean everything. So I have tested dozens, if not hundreds, of different antiperspirants and deodorants, some natural, some with aluminum. It seems like the whole world. I have read science research that says it's not bad for you. I don't know. So with all that said, I've got all of the best, let's say both natural, both unnatural, and then we'll kind of get into that. So what I want to do is tell you the ones that I thought worked well, ones that I thought smelled the best, ones that I thought worked the best, and then we'll kind of go from there. So the unscented ones, which there aren't many out here, believe it or not, really were two. The Mitchum, the unscented, for both of these, a 48-hour. This is a kind of a creamy gel, and then this is just a roll-on. These were the best unscented by far. The only thing I will say about Mitchum that I'm not a huge fan of is this gel can leave your areas, your armpits, a little sticky and that wet feeling for a while. So I'm not a huge fan of it. Same thing with the roll-on. But the best unscented are definitely the Mitchum roll-on and the gel by far. There's nothing even close unscented that works as good as these. The best smelling, which ones? And this is subjective, but I think the two best smelling ones, and I tried them all, that's not it. These two is the Oasis by Old Spice. And one's an antiperspirant, one's this deodorant. The antiperspirant, unfortunately for me, and it smells good. It's just a hint of vanilla. It's not like you're wearing vanilla all day. This white, chalky, leaves a hot mess everywhere. Inside your shirts, God forbid if you're sloppy like I am and you get it on the outside of your shirts. But I think this is made with baking powder or soda. I think baking powder, hence the white. This worked good, but not great, but definitely smelled the best. And the same thing with their natural deodorant. It smells different, which is so bizarre. This is more soapy, but again, this made me feel like I was sticky, and after 6 or 7 hours, I felt like I needed to apply more. So, but the best smelling, in my opinion, and we'll get into some other ones as well, is the Old Spice Oasis. The best sprays that I tried were these two by Dove. One's Cool Fresh. One is what they call a citrus zest and sage. Both worked fine. What I've learned and learned the hard way is make sure your pits are dry. If you put this on when they're wet, it looks like you have little stalactites coming off your armpit hairs if you have that. These worked fine. They're just not my favorite. I don't feel like these work a full 8 hours. And again, yes, I know how to apply these, but for the best scents or the best spraying ones were the Dove. So let's get into like this new version of all these. So this is like these powder that they come out, and you can see what a mess these make, right? I mean, I don't know if you saw that or not, but now these come up with like a powdery, this is Mitchum's version, this is Old Spice's version called Sweat Defense. You know, they come out with a big, and these just leave a mess everywhere. Literally, you can see, like, if I shake this out, I'll get white powder everywhere. I hate these. I hate that this is what the deodorant world has gone to. But again, Not my favorite with those Old Spices or even Mitchum's version. The Harry's is another one. The scents are not awful. They are, let's say, tamer than some, but again, I don't love the residue that these leave everywhere. So the Harry's to me was still one of the better ones because the scent does not knock you out. But again, what happens to me is some of these, like a Harry's, will turn into a powdery mess, which I start smelling like an old lady, and it makes me nuts. The other one that I really liked for unscented that I should have hit on before, but again, it's this powdery mess, is the Arid Extra Dry Unscented Solid, but it's not a great solid. One of the best that I've tried, and this is a YSL. I love the material of this, or the way it's made. It's like a gel, but does not leave me sticky. But again, this is just a deodorant. So I actually keep this in my gym bag, so when I'm done with the gym, I kind of go home and I smell better, but I'm not, not antiperspirant. The other ones that I liked, and there's really kind of 3 players left that I've really thought were better than anticipated, and really depending on if you want aluminum or not aluminum. So let's pick on the aluminum versions first, and that's Carpe, or Carpe, however they pronounce it. I originally ordered the vanilla ones because I thought it would kind of be something like the Old Spice. It was nothing. It smelled like an old powdery mess. Customer service was great. They sent me the version in sandalwood, and this comes out. This has been the surprise of all these. I think this is probably the best one of the entire group. But I'll tell you why. One, it doesn't leave a nasty residue anywhere. The scent is faint enough. Yes, you can still pick it up, but it's faint enough that you can wear fragrances or not knock people out. And you can check out Carpe. I'm not being paid for any of these brands, so I'll put the links in the description, the links to these guys. But this is a sandalwood one, which I think smells... It's up there, probably one of the best smelling. Between that and the vanilla one from Old Spice, I think is one of the best. But Carpe for me, which was a total surprise, has worked phenomenally well. I thought, and listen, and these are just 10% of what I've gone through in the last 18 months. I thought this is going to be another waste of my time, and these really, really did well. So if you're looking for something that maybe is a little more natural, but a little more higher end that really works, Carpe to me was, I think, the best of all of these. Because when you put the lotion on, and I'll just show you guys real quick, if you can see this here, it comes out like a lotion. Here, I'll just come around and I'll show you. So it comes out like a lotion, and it literally rubs in and disappears. And that's one of the things I liked. It's not real sticky. It's not real gooey. And then I like how their thing, you can literally make the lotion or cream go down, so it's not wasting. This was one that, like I said, really surprised me. And again, I was just looking for something to work. I don't care who the brand is. I don't care anything. So we did the Carpe, and then we did the one that we probably get hit up the most by, is the MAND0. And MAND0, I tried 2 different fragrances. One is their sandalwood, and the other one is the non-scented or unscented. I can tell you, their unscented to me has literally no scent. Their sandalwood is a little bit, I think they call this bourbon leather. I call it sandalwood, but it's a sandalwood and mixed in with something else. What I will say with these is I wanted to love MAND0. And I tried the lotions as well. I sent those back. These work okay. I know people say use them for 2 weeks. All these natural ones I've used for a couple weeks at a time. And actually 3 weeks, and then I went on a kick. We're all natural ones. And I didn't get the results I really wanted. MAND0 was probably the closest to the best, but certainly not the best for me. I had to reapply these after about the 8-hour mark. And some people, that's fine. That's all you're looking for. But for me, I wanted something that would last me all day, kind of every day. You know, Mitchum, as I went back to the original ones, would literally last me days. I mean, I could put it on Friday and go to the gym Friday night, go golf Saturday, and really have no issues whatsoever with odor or sweat. So Mitchum really did. And I don't know what's going on with the aluminum. Maybe they're all getting away from it, and this is just kind of the beginning to the end of aluminum ones. But MAND0, I really wanted to like. Again, I think the problem I had with MAND0 more than anything else, it didn't last me all day. And it's the white powdery residue that literally gets everywhere. And I hate when I wear nicer shirts and the inside is literally caked with your deodorant. So I like MAND0. If I was to say Carpe is a 9 out of 10, I would say these are probably about an 8 out of 10. The other one I tried, which I really kind of was surprised at, and that's the Oars and Alps. And I really liked, I thought I was going to like these. You know, this is an all natural. It takes a few weeks to get used to it. I have California Coast, Eucalyptus Spearmint. You know, this is probably, to me, the most natural smelling one. And then the Fresh Ocean Splash. This smell, they're all good. Like, the Fresh Ocean Splash is a really good smell. It kind of reminds me of bananas. If you smell it and you say, oh yeah, you're right. But I want to show you the kind of the texture of this one, because I think it's a neat texture. And again, if I put it on my hand, again, it very little residue. You can see a little white residue there, but again, it kind of rubs in, and these smell nice. I think Oars and Alps as a brand may have the best smelling for men, where I think the MAND0, I think some smell good and others are a little weird. I think the Oars and Alps to me is the best smelling as a group. I would say of all the natural ones, the Oars and Alps by far was the best one for me. The pseudo natural ones, and MAND0 may say we're all natural. I don't know. I'm not getting into the scientific, their chemicals and their breakdown. I'd say this was probably the best in between. These are the best that I think aren't afraid that they have aluminum in there. I don't even know if it says they have aluminum. I can't even read. This print is so small, I can't even read that. And again, to me, the best unscented overall were really these guys, and I'll even throw in the Arid one. So best unscented with aluminum and everything else are those. The best natural by far was the Oars and Alps. And I like these. I like these a lot. And to me, what I like about this is basically the same as this. This is 20 some dollars. These are between, you know, $10 and $12 each. I just wish these lasted longer. And I know people say you got to wait 3 weeks to a month. You know, these were really good. You just have to take time. The MAND0, like I said, is the best for the in-between. And again, I think the Carpe, for my body, was the best one. That literally, if you're coming from a normal aluminum deodorant and you just want to make the switch to something a little different, maybe a little more natural, a little more high-end, I would say, this is the best one. So I know I've rambled on for God knows how long about these, but I wanted to kind of let you guys know. And this is not like, hey, I'm gonna do this on YouTube and do social media. This was like, I'm just trying to find a good replacement for what I used to use in the Mitchum, and it literally turned into a you-know-what show. It was comical of how much deodorant I've literally had, and some brands, and I will say this, and I'll wrap up. A lot of these brands, these guys, a lot of the ones are I call the mail order, the ones you order direct to consumer, although I think all these you can buy now somewhere. They have a great warranty. So if you don't like it, and if it burns the hole in your armpit, or you feel like you stink after 2 hours, or your shirt is soaked after a half hour, they all have money back guarantee, so you can send them back. Again, I can't tell you which one will be great for you, but I can tell you these are the ones that really have worked well for me. And again, this has been quite a pilgrimage, because this is not something, like I said, I set out to do, but it just is so frustrating when you literally just want to buy something that keeps your odor away and keeps you from stop sweating, and the stuff makes you smell like an old lady, or it doesn't work, or it leaves white residue everywhere. So to me, these were the best 4 kind of pockets of what we've used and tested. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. This is an odd review, obviously, but if there's anything else you want to see, and I'm not going to talk about any more deodorants for a while, certainly let us know, and we will see you guys next time. Thanks, guys.